These are our children. They skip down our streets, but the paedophile is waiting.
Take a look at this. What is it? Just a hillside? Look again. There's a child there, no more than a blue speck. But the fact is, if you show this picture to a paedophile, they'll actually try and attack it in an attempt to reach the child. That's the sort of warped mindset we're dealing with.
Even our most drastic measures don't work. Last month, the notorious paedophile Sidney Cook was blasted into space to spend the rest of his life aboard a one-man prison vessel, posing no further threat to children on Earth. But it was revealed that an 8-year-old boy was also placed on board by mistake and is now trapped alone in space with the monster. A spokesman said, "This is the one thing we didn't want to happen."
Why can we no longer think of the British Isles without the word pedof in front of them? Good evening. We're live tonight from the epicenter of Operation Daisy Bird. Welcome to Pedogeddon.
People like this are everywhere.
That's why my own children are here with me. Good night, children. They're safe tonight. Are yours?
I doubt it. That's why we've taken over every major stadium in the country. Please, we must have your children safe in one of those by midnight.
They're already filling up nicely, and that's a check-in area in Cardiff. And you can see clowns there fitting children with anti-paedophile canisters. Those canisters can be remotely activated if the child goes missing. They put off paedophiles by spraying the child with 8 litres of pressurised sewerage.
We're after your help too. Security footage of a paedophile disguised as a school. He's been getting away with it in Sheffield for 12 years. Do you know him? Have you seen him? Please call.
Yes, we must catch that man. He really is a shit.
But let's start with a look at how the paedophile problem has grown over the years.
Victorian Britain. This man is having sex with a 10-year-old girl. In our reconstruction, she's played by a 25-year-old woman. The breasts are inaccurate. A child's breasts are small. The nipples much like those of a boy. But this isn't paedophilia. The girl's a whore.
Can I have the money now, please?
In the 1950s, a national questionnaire explained exactly what a paedophile was. Each man in Britain was asked if he thought he was one. 92% said yes. 1969 and the summer of Pan saw thousands of young paedophiles party without shame in parks and fields. And as late as 1973, people still thought nothing of hits like Playground Bangaround.
Turn right inside, to a little boy on the slide, little girl on the swing.
It's a single thing!
Playground Bangaround, bang a little boy, girl. Playground Bangaround, bang a little girl.
But today, the number of children having sex with adults is beyond belief. If you define a child as anyone under 30, the figure is over 86%. Institutional paedophilia spreads wide rife.
So what measures did you take to ensure this man wouldn't offend again?
We invited a 10-year-old boy into the room and we asked the man, "Are you attracted to this boy?" And he said no.
And you believed him?
Yes.
Even though on that occasion he put his hand down the boy's trousers?
He was trying to save the boy from a fly.
We have become a people confused.
Dear sir, I am a paedophile. Please can I have sex with this 3-year-old girl now that she's 21?
No way.
You should be in a mental asylum.
A large crowd has gathered outside Dredgemore Prison tonight to protest against tomorrow's planned release of the notorious paedophile, Jez North. Ted Maul has this there.
Yes, and I don't know if you can sense the air of aggression here, but 10 minutes ago, we threw this crowd a dummy full of guts. It lasted just 8 seconds. This is very much a protest that swallowed a bomb and given the detonator to a monkey.
What's that behind you, Ted?
The giant, dressed as a girl, it's been here all day.
Thanks, Ted. So who is Jez North? In 1986, Jez North was convicted for multiple acts. We believe his story is actually too upsetting to transmit. We only do so tonight with that proviso.
I drew pictures of him and they were disgusting.
His handwriting was definitely too big.
I remember once he got his bum out.
Like so many of his kind, North was required to leave school after passing exams and took a job delivering potatoes. The perfect cover for a serial robe intruder. By night, he trawled these hell blocks for innocent vulnerables. I recently met one of North's victims. She was in fact so upset she would only talk to us through her sister disguised as a plastic troll.
She still can't really speak about it.
We asked Kelly if she would mind demonstrating North's perversions. Someone who agrees to rub their breasts on television is clearly inexcusably disturbed. But incredibly, it took the police another 8 years to bring North to justice.
At this house, on the 26th of March 1986, North was arrested. He received 4 life sentences to run, Austin Tasseltine, sequentially. Thanks, Austin. But even in prison, North's rastopedic impulses found new outlets.
He was allowed to write articles for a magazine, edited by a man who at that time had a 9-year-old nephew with a nice pink arse and no hair on his balls. The orgy of sly-winking usury was only brought to an end by a stairwell nonce bashing, which left North brain-dead and quadraspazzed on a life glug.
Jez North is released tomorrow. Can we be sure that pervert mechanics haven't built him one of these?
Of course we can't, which is why your children could very soon be splatted by a roboplegic wrongcock.
Now, what are the facts about paedophiles? Lardon Iridesco reports.
This is Noah Fink, the country's leading authority on paedophiles, using Britain's best-loved heads...
And I'm talking nonsense.
...to broadcast paedophile facts.
This is a crab. This has sex with kids.
...to those most in danger.
Let's just get one thing straight. The British Army has never launched an offensive against a 6-year-old child.
Gerald Howarth here for No Fink, incorporating no offence, no offence, no offence, and no thanks.
Paedophiles are very good at disguising themselves. These are 2 photographs of the same paedophile, before and after. And it works too. This man is still at large in the United States. He's believed to have a low-status job inside the music industry.
How brazen and shameless is the modern paedophile? Well, take a look at this card here. What sort of sick individual puts things like this up in a telephone box? What sort of thing was going through his mind?
Genetically, paedophiles have more genes in common with crabs than they do with you and me. Now that is scientific fact. There's no real evidence for it, but it is scientific fact.
Children today often have mobile phones, but so too do paedophiles using text message slang. And because they're on edge, they dial wrong numbers. So watch out for these. Pipe-to-pipe bushman, code for 2 paedophiles having sex with each other while watching children from a shrub.
DBL means Dusky Blonde Lulu, and that's a male paedophile disguised as a lion.
Baltimorer, This means literally I'm running at them now with my trousers down.
This man is using clapping to describe a 6-year-old child alone in a department store while her mother is distracted using a mobile telephone. Other paedophiles in the area can now take advantage of this child by using this method of communication.
I'd like to play you a piece of music called Stay Away From Me by the American chart toppers Smash My Brother's Face In.
A paedophile would be really nonplussed if you opened your mouth and that noise came out, so learn it.
Wadded and rammed, public support for anti-paedophile technology.
The Singapore solution. A paedophile has an implant the size of a cashew nut in his rectum. These devices are triggered by the sound of children's voices. It hears those voices, it expands to the size of a 42-inch colour television set. Bang! They fall to the ground, shrieking, and the children are safe.
Sounds good. Very good.
Very good idea. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yes.
And a self-confessed paedophile is confronted with what he is.
You are a paedophile. You are a nonce. You are a perv. You're a slot badger. You're a two-pin din plug. You're a bush dodger. You're a small beam regarder. You're an Una bummer. You're a nut administrator. You're a bent ref. You're the crazy world of Arthur Brown. You're a fence foal. You're a free willy. You're a chimney bottler. You're a bunty man. You're a shrub rocketeer.
Yes, well, you know, you just mentioned some of the names that we have to put up with every day, and it's just another form of racism.
The pedophiles, delivering justice unto men who prey sex on our children.
Men who have sacrificed the right to a life without pain.
I know how they look. I know how they think. I was one, for Christ's sake.
10 years ago, I had designs on my own kids. I knew that one day I might act on them. So to stop me, I shot myself in my own head. I'd killed the pedophile in me. Now I do the same for society. Because these men have chosen the way of the animal.
They don't deserve punishment. They deserve gunishment.
The Pedophile starts next week on 4, straight after Pedophile Island. 100 kids and an ex-offender on an island full of cameras. What's going to happen?
Welcome back. In the past 3 minutes, there's been an attempt to break into Dredgemore Prison and attack the paedophile, Jez North. Ted Maul is there.
Yes, a vigilante has just tried to fire himself over the prison walls using a giant catapult. Minutes earlier, a test projectile believed to be a side of beef cleared the parapets by a full 20 feet. But when the man himself was fired, his trajectory was all out of goose. He thumped into the wall, you can hear his bones breaking on impact. Medics say he may live, but only with his neck as an internal organ.
Still in the paddock, the web perverts who sell trousers to disguise erections in playgrounds.
I think it's an absolute disgrace that somebody should use the internet to market these Trust Me trousers. It makes it very difficult legally to try and pin them with the offence because it covers the fact that they're stimulated in the groin area.
And paedophilia for laughs?
Who wants a sweetie?
Reformed abuser Fenton Beasley has a best-selling autobiography and now runs bus tours of his old haunts.
You'd have to do something for Uncle Beezy first. You'd have to lift up your skirt and show me your knickers.
Why are they laughing?
What's that? Hair? I don't like hair.
Is he right to milk his perversion?
When you have children of your own, you remember Uncle Beezy. And get him to undress by the window. Would you do that for me? Only kidding.
Excellent. And I've been on that bus trip myself. I have to say, it really is very funny. You'd enjoy that, Valise. You ought to go.
Yes. Most stadiums are over half full now. There is a parent riot currently in Leeds, which started after a paedophile in a microlight committed an overhead perversion at Headingley Stadium. But police helicopters soon chased him into pylons where he crashed screaming like a pig in a war.
So what's next for Britain?
Tarted up tots at American pageants. How long before we see this in Nuneaton or Diss?
Look at these.
Oh, are they real?
Well, they're enhanced.
Oh,
Like 'em?
oh, they are so cute.
Well, we didn't want to go too big. No.
Already. I jiggle.
Oh, God, I guess some of those for you, baby. They are.
Our children are already obsessed by the American rap artist J.L. Bate. Self-styled king of new ass music, he's sold over 18 million records and dates girls as young as 7.
If you turn away from me, I'm happy because I can see your little white butt.
He's the coolest, definitely.
I'm very pleased to declare I never found a single hair on your little white butt.
Bate claims he's been unfairly treated.
Don't you think you should ask my dad, maybe? Why his dick was up my ass before I was even a baby? Sure, my butt was over the cervix. That's not a freehold for perv days. He fucked me anally, prenatally. I'm only doing unto them as he did unto me.
But he's a paedophile.
So? Like we care.
One kid polishes my balls. He's living inside my diaper. I got 2 more working my prostate with a windshield wiper.
Wouldn't you object if he tried to kiss you?
No.
Even our own artists seem hell-bent on depravativity.
Pseudophotographs.
Yeah.
Composite images.
Yes.
Which can be dangerous.
They can be. They become indecent by virtue of the way in which they've been altered.
Right.
Yep.
Work in progress by an art collective, Unhappy Disgusting Wow. A nude woman's body, a little girl's head. Now, I did actually find that quite sexually...
Arousing?
Arousing image, yes.
Well, the fact that you did does not mean that that's an indecent photograph of a child.
Why not?
Because it's not. Because the body is not one of a child.
Ian Ditchurst's About Last Night.
Indecent. No, in my view, that would be...
That's indecent?
Yes.
Yeah. Indecent or not?
No.
If this were the eyes of a child...
No.
What about the
Let's just put the whole head on, yeah? What I'm saying is you put that head on there, then yes, it would be indecent.
Okay. And, let's do that. Oh, God, like that.
Will the artist mind?
I don't care. It's made me quite angry, this. We'll pay for it. Right? There. That is an indecent image, is it?
Yes.
Now, why are no paedophiles black?
And you leave the kids alone. Or else. Now, a quick recap for you. Paedophiles, crabs, simple. Hold that thought for you. Your
Get me out of here!
Just a second. I'm sorry, but we've been invaded by members of the militant paedophile organisation Millet P. This is their leader, Gerard Choate. Now listen a second. You've broken in here demanding to have your say on live television. Tell us what you believe.
What?
What do you believe?
I believe that intergenerational sex is appropriate within loving...
Sex with children?
Yes.
Stop right there. Come on. Well done, mate. OK. That's my son, Johnny, all right? Have a look at him. Now, are you prepared to tell me you want to have sex with my son?
No.
You're ashamed, aren't you?
No, I'm not ashamed.
All right, then tell me you want to have sex with my son.
I don't.
Why not?
I don't fancy him.
What do you mean?
I just don't. I don't find him attractive, I'm sorry.
Good. actually. You're prepared to tell the father of a 6-year-old that you want to have sex with him on live television.
I didn't.
Yeah, effectively, you did. You did. He did, Swan Cheetah. He did, didn't he?
Yes, I mean, that is just so...
Yeah.
I didn't.
You did. Online games.
Wait a minute,
the latest menace.
It was absolutely revolting.
To require urgent warnings from expert communicators.
Right, so if you could take that and hold that on just right under the camera.
Pantu the dog, a child's game on the internet. But look again. An online paedophile has converted that eye to work as a webcam to look at the child player.
Sometimes the child can glimpse the molester in that kennel, bouncing around and waving.
Wearing a t-shirt like this, the online paedophile can disguise himself as a child. So the child thinks it's playing with another child.
It's called a hoax game, a hidden online entrapment control system.
Singapore police have sent us these pictures. This man has plugged his groin into his computer to get sexual pleasure from the actions of a child playing with Pantu.
So every time you kids tickle Panto, the paedophile gets his rocks off. And it doesn't stop there.
In this shot, Pantu the dog has told the boy to press his face onto the soft screen. Online paedophiles use special gloves to feel and palpate the child's face. In fact, with gloves like these, the manipulator can molest any part of the child's body placed against the screen.
We even have footage, which would be too alarming to show you, of a little boy being interfered with by a penis-shaped sound wave generated by an online paedophile.
We believe that paedophiles are using an area of internet the size of Ireland, and through this they can control keyboards.
Online paedophiles can actually make your keyboard release toxic vapors that make you suggestible. You know, I must say, I actually feel more suggestible, and that was just with one sniff.
Hoax games can cause serious damage. One child was trapped online for a whole night and, according to a psychiatric report, came away with the jaded, listless sexual appetite of a 60-year-old colonel.
Now, here are the warning signs to show that your child might be in trouble. Are they upset? Do they smell odd? Weird question, but hoax games actually makes your child smell like hammers.
So come on, experts, why is no one telling us about this stuff? There's a kid in Canada who's gone almost completely 2D, and no one's doing anything about it.
Please sit your kids down tonight and tell them about hoax games. Let's strangle Pantu.
Let's put a bomb under Pantu's chin and stamp on his throat. Let's rip this dog's brains out.
There's been a dramatic development at Dredgemore Prison. Ted Moore has this.
An eruption of anger. The smell of burnt hair in the air. Just minutes ago, the prison authorities tried to sneak North out of the back here. It didn't work. Crowds set upon the transporter. One man ended up planted round the axle. They ripped North out of the back. And at that point, we became ominously aware of a 25-foot wicker phallus. Seconds later, North was ablaze. Sheets of flame dancing to the beat of primitive animal justice. One man kebabbed, hundreds scarred forever by a shared blood ritual. And yet, an astonishing sense of community here now, a positive atmosphere, a sense of a job well done, a shared sigh of relief, very much like the bizarre euphoria at the end of an hour's vomiting. Chris.
And we are already getting emails about the burning. Well done, that crowd. A lot of support here, even from hardened nonces.
Well, it has been a great night, hasn't it?
Certainly has, Chris. 2 million children now safe in our stadiums.
A paedophile was attacked in his car this evening, but I have to say, if your surname was Farr, would you call your son Peter?
No!
And look, if a child does take your fancy, please remember, leave it a couple of years.
I did.
Good night.
One day I want to, but not today.
She can be kissed, but in an innocent way.
And her cherry must ripen naturally in the soul. We're not ready yet, we're not ready yet, we're not ready today.
There's a little minx. Should I buy her with drinks? No!
But not today, not even tomorrow. But maybe the day after that.
Do you feel children are underestimated and their power to make decisions is underestimated?
Very much so.
And yet we know from history that there was a 4-year-old general at Waterloo.
Absolutely.
A headmaster in China who was 3.
Yes.
I mean, we know, for example, that Idi Amin had a smothering, slobbering aunt.
Yes, precisely. And could he say no to her? Perhaps not. I mean, if you don't make a problem out of it, then it won't become such a problem. And you won't have so many damaged people.
Tête derrière.
Yes, quite frankly, yes.
Last night, a DJ saved my life. How? By writing this music, which contains advice on avoiding strangers. And who was the DJ? It was none other than DJ Bob Hoskins going mental in a dustbin.
Here's a quick checklist to help you spot a paedophile.
And they're all taken from police reports in the last 6 months.
If someone tells you to take your clothes off in case your thumbs get too hot.
If someone shows you a model of your hometown and all the houses look like penises.
If someone thinks goldfish are the same as flatfish, no, there's something wrong.
Nonsense.
Put that in your ears last thing at night, because the lesson trickles in. And behavioral psychology tells us that in the morning you'll be 17.8% safer.